It is highly significant because it provides leverage for people like myself, for people like Extinction Rebellion, the Youth Climate Strikers, to actually say, well, now you MPs, you members of Parliament, have declared a climate emergency, you have to act on it. And of course, it's not clear that they've completely thought through the implications of this. I mean, on the same day, yesterday, that this climate emergency was declared, there was a legal ruling saying a third runway at Heathrow Airport can go ahead. Well, look, this is an emergency, and that means we need to start retiring fossil fuel-based infrastructure rather than building more of it. So what we can now do is to say to members of Parliament, you've agreed to this, now you've got to follow through. You've actually got to work this through, see what the implications are, and respond accordingly.
Well, can you talk about, George Monbiot, what kinds of effects you think this, I mean, obviously it's not binding and has no effects on policy, but Jeremy Corbyn and Parliament's decision to declare a climate catastrophe could, with the combination of activist pressure, lead to some kind of change. You've cited Jeremy Lent and his idea of an ecological civilization. What would that take?
Yes. So this is one of several very important ideas which are coming forward at the moment for really looking at how we can replace our whole political economy with a new system. Because it's very clear now, capitalism is broken. It is like a gun pointed at the heart of the planet. And it's got these characteristics which mean that it will essentially, necessarily, destroy our life support systems. Among those characteristics are the drive for perpetual economic growth on a finite planet. You just can't support that ecologically. Things fall apart. It also says, well, anyone has got a right to buy as much natural wealth as their money allows, which means that people are just grabbing far more natural wealth than either the population as a whole or the planet itself can support. And so we need to start looking at a completely new basis for running our economies. And one of the many excellent ideas out there is Jeremy Lent's proposal for an ecological civilization put forward in his excellent book, The Patterning Instinct.
Let me ask you about Extinction Rebellion, George Monbiot. More than 1,000 people arrested in a 2-week period. That's just wrapped up in London and other places. People supergluing themselves to Shell's headquarters, for example, there. You had the climate negotiator, one of the people who helped craft the Paris Climate Agreement of 2015, well-respected attorney. She herself said then, we make laws, now we break laws, supergluing herself and being arrested.
It's an extraordinary thing that has happened. Extinction Rebellion is an extremely well-organized group. They've got some great strategies for bringing these existential issues right front and center of the public mind, which is where they belong. And they've done so through some very clever and cheeky and disruptive actions, but have managed to swing a huge amount of public support towards them. Sometimes civil disobedience alienates more people than it attracts, but in this case, there's been a very significant move towards a public awareness of climate breakdown and a public desire to do something about it.